Bonsoir tout le monde. Je vais vous présenter dans cette vidéo ma proposition pour les différents états des drones, états de l'essaim de drones et du déroulement de certaines missions et des séquences qu'un opérateur peut faire durant ces missions-là. Je vais faire la vidéo en anglais parce que mes états sont écrits en anglais et notre code l'est également. Alright, so here we go. So first of all, I have these two red posts here. Standby and in mission. These are the two and the only two states that a swarm can have. The difference between these two is that a swarm state is in a standby state until a operator clicks start mission, which means the swarm goes into a in mission state. And the swarm remains in the in mission state until the operator clicks end mission, and at which point the mission has ended, the swarm goes back to standby. Associated with these two states, we have 8 different drone states. These are the blue post-its. We're going to start with the standby state. There's 3 states that are standby that can only be when the swarm is in standby. These states are recharge, which means the battery of the drone is under 30%. The ready state, which means that the drones have a battery life over 30% and are not part of a swarm yet. And the update state, which means that the drones are in a standby state and are in a standby swarm state and are being updated. The firmware of the drone is being updated. And then in the in-mission swarm state, we have these 6 drone states. We have the startup state. The startup state means that a drone that was in the ready state is now part of a swarm and is in mission. Flying means that the drone is navigating through an unknown space. Crash means that the drone either has been detected to be lost or has crashed, has an altitude of 0 while in mission. Return to base means that the drone is no longer exploring. Its whole purpose is to go back to the base. Land means that the drone has entered the 1 meter zone around the base and is now descending. And touchdown means that the drone is at the floor level of the base. Notice how this is almost like the launch sequence of NASA and SpaceX and most of rockets. Yeah, so we're doing rocket science. Okay, so here we go. The last posts I wanted to cover are the events. These are, and you can't really see unfortunately, there's a difference in colors. This is a darker yellow and the buttons are a green. The buttons mean that this is present on the client interface. An event is only based on either a crash or the battery life that goes under 30%. Alright, so here we go. Let's do this fast. Alright, this first mission is a normal mission. I have my drones here. My coins are drones. Alright. So I log onto my web browser and then automatically 4 drones are detected. And they are in a ready state. Why? Because the drones have a battery life over 30%, except one, which does not have a life over 30%, which remains in a recharge state. My operator clicks start mission. What happens now is that my swarm state goes into in mission, and my drones that were in a ready state are now part of a startup state. The difference that happens here, so now it's part of a swarm state, that's symbolized by the numbers here. The real difference between ready and startup is in the case where I have this situation where I have 4 drones connected, but I have 1 drone that needs recharge because the battery is under 30%, and I have 3 drones that are ready. I click start mission, so they go into a startup state, and my mission goes in mission state. But a second later, this drone here is recharged and is now in a ready state. This drone can never be part of the swarm because it was ready after the mission had started. So I hope this is clear. It cannot be part of the swarm if a mission has been engaged. Now, this is my swarm. So my swarm is in mission. My operator takes takeoff, and the drones that were in a startup state start navigating through the space. They are in a flying state, and they fly in the room until, well, what happens? After a few minutes, they all get their battery levels under 30%. This means that they go into a return to base state. Their sole purpose is going back to the base. That's it. And as soon as they go at a meter of the base, they go into a land state. They start descending. They go into a touchdown state. At which point the operator clicks end mission, which means that the logs of the drones are stopped because they are in a touchdown state, which means the altitude is 0 or is at the floor, and that my drones are near my base, and I can now click end mission, and my swarm state goes into standby, and my drones, which came back home because of the 30% rule, are now into a recharge state. Alright, so this is a normal mission. This is what we hope will happen most of the time. I'll give you another example to show you the difference with the interaction of an operator. So again, I have 4 drones, but 1 is under 30%. 3 are, so it's in a recharge state. 3 are in a ready state. The operator clicks start mission. My drones go into a startup state, and my swarm state is in mission. Operator clicks takeoff. My drones they're in a startup state. My drones start flying in the room. And while they're navigating, the operator decides, I am ending the mission. So the operator clicks end mission. What happens now is because the drones are not in a touchdown state, the logs of these drones keep rolling. But they go into a return to base state, back to a meter from the home, the base. As soon as they get there, they start landing, and as soon as they are at altitude 0 of the base station, they go in a touchdown state, and as soon as they're in the touchdown state, the logs as soon as the 3 are at the touchdown state, the logs of that mission stops. The drones go into either a ready state or a recharge state. Why? Well, because we don't know the battery level. Maybe at one point they got under 30%, getting close to the home base, or they came back home and they were at 60%, and so they're still in the ready state. And the swarm mission is at standby. So the standby requirements is that if it either is that it's an end mission and the drones are in a recharge or ready state after a touchdown, or it's either the drones are touchdown state and then the end mission button has been clicked. All right. I'll give you a more realistic scenario. This scenario is when the drones have different battery lives, which means that they need to go back at the base at different intervals. So again, 4 drones actually. 3 drones are ready, 1 drone is recharge. Operator clicks start mission. My swarm state goes from standby to in mission. My drones go from ready state to startup state. Operator clicks takeoff, and what happens is that, well, they're flying, but number 3 gets a battery life under 30%, and so it starts initiating its return to base, land, and touch down state. But maybe these drones are still flying, so the swarm state remains in mission until all the drones either have an event of a end mission or have their battery under 30%, go through the return to base state, land, and are in the state touchdown. And at this point, the operator can click end mission and the mission ends. The logs end and they go into a recharge state. And so this is what happens. This is probably what's going to happen most of the time, is we're going to have a few drones out, and then they're going to come back home successively and wait until all of the swarm has come back. And at this point, we can end the mission and the logs can end, and then the swarm state goes to standby. Alright, so this is a more classic. This is another one that's probably going to happen a few times. A crash. So 4 drones, 3 are ready, 1 is in recharge. I click start mission. My swarm state goes in mission. My drone's status state goes into startup. I click the takeoff button on the interface. The drones, they're in the startup phase. They start flying, and what happens is that one of the drones crashes. It goes into a crash state. So it's in a crash state. My 2 drones continue flying because the mission is still happening, and then what happens is that they naturally go under the 30% mark for their batteries, and then they go, let's say sequentially, one of them goes to return to base and then lands, and the other one follows return to base, lands, and when they're at touchdown, the operator can now end mission only because one of the drones has crashed. So end mission has a if statement that if one of the drones has crashed, it can end the mission in the logs, even though not all the drones are in the touchdown. And so end mission, logs end. My drones here, because their battery life was under 30%, they start their recharge cycle, and then the operator can go retrieve the crashed drone, or can start a new mission without this drone, because now this drone is in a crash status and can never be in a standby status. Well, the swarm cannot be in a standby status for this one. Yeah, so that's probably it. And I have another one, last one. Alright, this one we need to make sure that we actually need to code, because I'm not sure that this is what the teacher wants. Okay, this is also a operator interacting with the swarm during a in-mission swarm state. So I have 3 drones ready, 1 in recharge. Operator clicks start mission. My drones are now in a startup state, and my swarm is in in mission. The operator clicks the takeoff button. The drones start flying, and the operator decides that he wants to land the swarm, because remember, these commands are only for the swarm. So he wants to land the swarm, but it's not at the base. So what happens is that the swarm goes into the land, and I forgot land status, and then as soon as they've gone to touchdown, they go back to a startup status, and they're now ready for the operator to click takeoff. If one of them is still landing and 2 of them are in touchdown, they are not in startup, so they cannot take off. You need the 3 drones to be in a startup state to be able to take off. So take off, they start flying again, and then battery goes under 30%, so they go back to return to base, and then land, and then touchdown. The end mission, and I haven't talked to this yet, but the end mission button can be clicked at any time during a flying status, and this will just initiate the return to base, the land, and the touchdown state manually. And as soon as the end mission button is clicked and that all the drones of a swarm are in the touchdown state, the logs end. So I hope this helps explain a bit of my philosophy on why we should have some drone states to help the operator understand what's happening, and to make our interface, I think, a bit more user-friendly, just to understand where they're at, what they're doing. I also think that this is interesting because it'll allow us to understand the what's happening with the drone. So we'll be able to monitor states rather than some specific logs we're looking at. Furthermore, for the installation of the swarm gradient bug algorithm, I think that will only be in the flying state. The return to base state will only be, I think, obstacle avoidance algorithm with the shortest path. So it's just going to detect where the signal from the base is the strongest and follow that signal until there's an obstacle, and then it's just going to follow the walls of the obstacle going to the most intense signal from the base, and then just continue like that. While the flying, they're going to have their own heading, and then they're going to have their discovery and obstacle avoidance from the swarm bug algorithm. So this flying state will only take care of the swarm bug algorithm. All the other ones are more specific. And what's interesting is I think all these states I created thinking of some real physical attributes that we can say. So the land state is at 1 meter from the base, they're in the land state. Touchdown means that the altitude is at the predefined 0 or whatever mark. The startup state is when a operator has clicked the start mission. The recharge is battery under 30%, and the ready means that the swarm state is in standby and the operator has not clicked the start mission, or that there is a mission being carried out, and so the drones stay in a ready state until there's no mission. And yeah, return to base just means that the drone has battery life under 30%, so it needs to return to base. So I hope this helps, and hope you enjoyed this video and that it will accelerate our discussions next time, because yeah, we need to start coding and we need to get things moving to make this happen. Alright, take care guys.